Flame on! How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another episode of New Direction. This is a double this week, so let's bring on Comics League. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
All right, the reason this one's a double episode, you're getting two episodes this weekend, is largely because of the new Dawn of DC Wonder Woman run that comes out in a few months with a certain legacy character.
When I saw this, immediately what popped through my mind is, okay, if her father is Superman, then
you ripped us off, DC.
Yeah, correction, Tom King ripped us off.
Yeah, the company's still liable.
Yeah, it's true. But whatever. Hey, we'll take a royalty check.
But this isn't about us getting really defensive, because more than likely with Trinity, they're going to go with the daughter molded from clay origin anyway. But I just want to look back and everything, because this really kicked off. I'm surprised that New Direction kicked off as much as it did.
Yeah, and we had a fantastic episode where we annihilated the Justice League.
Oh, so if you were here for yesterday's episode.
Yeah, we basically turned it into the level of gore seen in The Boys.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it got super ridiculous.
But yeah. Oh God. I just want to say that. Okay, so you pretty much have. We don't know what Dawn of DC is going to be. We really don't know since the full initiative doesn't kick off. Mm-hmm. But hold on, I'm just gonna. But I just feel like with what we've put together so far, we could at the very least make DC some money. Mm-hmm. Jared, what do you think?
This should have been, dude. This should have been 5G right here. If this were 5G. Yes, it would have been like one of the greatest things of all time.
Oh man, but I don't even want to. As badass as it was, I don't even think. God, I don't even want to describe it again. This was just brutal.
It would have been a bunch of Black Label books. Let's be clear, it would have been very Black Label.
Still in continuity though, but.
It would have been one of those books like The Killing Joke where it's Elseworlds unless it's popular.
But let's be honest, this would have been really popular.
Oh yes. You kidding me? Thor destroying the Justice League and then getting beaten and then getting beheaded by Wonder Woman's daughter. Spoiler alert.
Bless me. But I just put this together. This was relatively last minute.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Now, I want to make this perfectly clear. This is Norse Thor, Norse accurate Thor, like you see in God of War Ragnarok, not Marvel Thor. I just want to make that very clear.
Which still, because if it were Marvel Thor, he could not take on the entire Justice League. Nope,
he cannot. And if you're wondering about how I used the original Death of Superman, that's more of a tribute because it's pre-Flashpoint Superman, but that's really the only death scene I could get without using Camu footage. But I'm pretty sure that this came out pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, it came out pretty well. You could have also used that scene from Hereafter in Justice League when Superman's casket is brought through.
Damn it, why didn't I think?
Because that's pretty much what it was. But hey, that works very well because, again, it is that Superman.
But, what's up, Master Sergeant?
What's up, dude?
But you should have been here yesterday, man. It's just
oh boy. But yeah, DC ripped us off.
Okay, we don't really know too much about Trinity, but hopefully she's not the daughter of Superman because that would procure some questions.
Because here's why. The week, I think it was like the week or two before, we started talking about, okay, so so the basic premise of this storyline is it's what if New 52 Superman was not lazily killed off by DC and he married Wonder Woman, they had a daughter. This should sound familiar to you right now. And then like a week later or something like that, Tom King posts that image of Trinity and I'm like, Jay Heat and I are DMing and we're like, what the heck just happened? either we're really clairvoyant or something else is up, or it's just a coincidence.
It's probably just a coincidence. It's probably just a coincidence. We don't know. We don't know.
But it is serious timing, though.
But I remember when we were recording the God War video, you know, where God Killer shows up the first time and just wrecks Olympus. And I'm just like, you got Darkseid, you got Hera, you got Scion, you got Superman. Everything just came together. Like, we came up with this within the span of like a couple of days.
Yeah, it was literally us ad-libbing off of each other, and it just turned into an entire universe that I want to see as a comic.
Someday.
By the way, if you guys have any like fan art of like Thor fighting the Justice League, please send it to us.
Please, by all means. By all means. I just can't imagine. Okay, we did decide that pre-Flashpoint Superman would die, but we hadn't really confirmed whether new pre-Flashpoint Lois would die. We kind of like spun ideas around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I know you wanted to talk most about Jared. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, there are a couple of different ways we could approach this, because the new 52 Lois, we just turned her into Superwoman like she was in DC Rebirth. We just said, that's fine. And she doesn't die, because that was lazy as heck. It was just to set up a Superman Reborn just so Tomasi can screw over Superman fans by vindictively eliminating Super Wonder. But anyway, that's not what this is about. What this is about. So what we kind of decided was, I think we decided that pre-Flashpoint Lois was going to be like the one of the administrators of the Justice League with John Jones.
Okay. And I know we decided that after God Killer Justice League Gods Among Us, we would kind of segue into Rebirth. But I feel like just before that time skip, we should get at least one more storyline. And that's actually an actual Superman Reborn, where Scion becomes Superman again, and pretty much his reflection from everything that happened.
Yeah. So what we could do is we'll make it like there's a threat, and the Justice League moves out, except Superman. And by Superman, you mean Scion now. And we will do a video explaining Scion just for the people that are confused. But it would be like a threat that like they need Superman, and then Clark goes through an existential crisis and decides, okay, I can do this now. And he dons the blue and red and then flies out. Man, you guys are talking way over my head. We're creating our own DC universe, Master Sergeant.
Just if you go, we will do an explanation video, but for now, if you could just go back to like the previous New Direction videos, you'll get a decent recap of what's going on.
Yeah, but still watch the stream.
But to give you the Clip Notes version, instead of New 52 Superman dying or being merged with, or Superman Reborn, where they're just merged together, you essentially have Wonder Woman making a deal with the Pantheon to bring New 52 Superman back. But there's a price to pay, and that's the God Killer arc, or Justice League. Did we call it the God Killer arc, or did we call it something else?
I think we called it the God Killer arc. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And now Kratos with a C. I just want to reiterate that because I do not want to.
Yeah, we're not doing the PlayStation Kratos, even though he's pretty much the PlayStation Kratos.
I won't go into spoilers, but it's pretty freaking badass. Okay, just imagine God of War 3 in terms of characterization. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, just imagine Thor shows up, and to give you an idea, do you mind if I tell them one thing that happens to a Justice Leaguer to like
go
tease
ahead.
them? He tears Hawkgirl's wings off. Actually, I'll tell you one more. He shatters Wally West's legs.
Wait, did we say that was Barry? Man,
no, Barry. He took his legs clean off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the level of craziness we went with this.
Oh man.
Kratos in DC. Yeah, that's
pretty much.
Pretty much. It's the Comics League Kratos. And we appreciate that, buddy.
But oh man, it's just can we even get away with this? That's the real question. Can we actually get away with this?
No, watch. DC makes it an Elseworld story, and then it blows up, and then they're like, "Oh no!" And they were like, "Should just put us in charge of the line. We can turn these." Hey, with Marvel screwing up constantly, hey, we could get you ahead of Marvel
easily. And you know, Marvel is tanking right now. It wouldn't take that much.
I would just tell, and you know what? I would have one of the comics of the battle is written by Zack Snyder.
And I believe we decided like shortly, either just before this, Joker tries to nuke Metropolis but fails, kind of like in the year three dream.
Yeah, it's essentially what it is that Batman actually does kill the Joker, because at this point he's like, nope, we're done. At this point, you're gonna keep using the insanity plea. It's not gonna work. It's not. And guess what? You're just gonna keep getting off the hook. Then eventually we had Gordon confronting Batman, saying you've never crossed this line before, and then Batman goes, "Listen, Gordon, I'm not gonna start killing everyone. This is an extenuating circumstance. I need you to trust me on this." Because that's realistically what would happen. Everyone's like, oh no, if he crossed that line, Gordon would arrest him. No, I'm pretty sure Gordon would trust him that this would only be a one-time thing.
Not to mention, given the cesspool Gotham is, the most Gordon would be able to do is expose his identity. Any confrontation between them would be a bluff.
And he wouldn't do that because guess what that would also expose the identity of? His daughter.
Because remember, Gordon actually does know. He just doesn't say anything to maintain plausible deniability, but Gordon does know.
I thought there were like some continuities or some times in DC main continuity where Batman actually told Gordon who he is.
It depends. In some versions he figured it out. Other versions Bruce came clean. It just depends on which continuity you're talking about.
Okay. But yeah, it wouldn't turn into in other words, the way they did it in the Hush comic, that would not be the way it turns out. No, I'm sorry, dude.
No.
That was just Jeff Loeb trying to maintain this really strict no-kill rule, even though even as Batman was beating to death the villain that arguably is the one that deserves it.
And the reason this deviates from Injustice is because Sign is there to get Lois to safety during Clark's, and this is pre-Flashpoint Superman, by the way, fever dream, when he's exposed to the kryptonite fear toxin.
Yeah, he's like, just breathe, dude. Just breathe. And then eventually it takes a golden armor-clad Wonder Woman to break them up. Because she like wraps them in the lasso of truth, and that has shown to break through like mind control or like fear toxin or anything like that. So
the truth compels you.
The truth compels. The lasso of Hestia compels you to see the truth. Yes, I do know the actual phrase. Thank you. And Master Sergeant bought the Hush omnibus. Nice. That Jim Lee art, dude. And yes, that is true because remember that's why everyone's like Zack Snyder's the reason why the DCU didn't do so well. I'm like, no, it's not. It's because they didn't come out with a Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman movie immediately after Justice League.
Not to mention they kind of rushed. They were just trying to catch up to Marvel, trying to rush it. And there's nothing wrong with competition in Hollywood in the movie business, but you still need a structure. If you're just riding off the bandwagon, general audience is going to catch on really quick.
I still think that if they had released a Snyder cut, it would have been a better, well, obviously shortened Snyder cut. It would have been, they would have been fine. It was the fact that they failed with Justice League and then didn't come out with those movies.
That is true.
Because remember, when you look at the post Justice League plans, the original ones, it was immediately after Justice League, Man of Steel 2, and the Batman. In other words, it was going to be Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Green Lantern, and then JL2.
But Aquaman still be on the film, or did they just rush that out?
I think Aquaman. I think Aquaman 2. Aquaman would also come out, and I believe the original plot for Aquaman, I think 2, was going to be a war brewing between the Amazons and the Atlanteans that Wonder Woman and Aquaman have to solve. And I'm like, I really wish we got that movie.
So basically, Flashpoint.
Yeah, and Master Sergeant goes, yeah, I'm down about $1,500 in comics omnibuses because of Jared. That's right, blame me. That's fine, I'll take it. Hey, you'll enjoy those comics. Don't worry.
But the majority of older comics are pretty good. Then we kind of did a lot yesterday's video. We Bat and Cat tied the knot. Helena Wayne was born. We did a lot in that video. Barry's in a coma.
That was like a lot of stuff going on in that episode. Jeez, but mostly the murder.
But okay, so I know we're trying to set up Rebirth, but I feel like just like a short mini series. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. But I feel like a short mini series covering like Scion's reflection of pre Flashpoint Clark and everything they've been through,
Yeah.
to where we act a proper Superman Reborn, if you will, just to bookend everything.
Yeah, you could even do like he's hanging out in the Fortress of Solitude, and you have like some flashback sequences showing him being mentored, showing him like basically reflecting on his life as Superman, like him first meeting Diana in the Justice League, him marrying Diana, the birth of their kid, him being mentored by Superman. And then I imagined it kind of like in the Snyder Cut when Superman is walking down the ship and you hear his two fathers. You would kind of have like that, except in comic book form, where it's like maybe not necessarily Jonathan Kent and Jor-El, but maybe like Bruce and Diana, and saying Clark like Bruce from Superman, Wonder Woman going, you do consider mankind your home team. You will always fight for us. And it's like it's the same concept how you have like in his head these two things that have always gone on, and you have two people talking to him in his head, in other words.
That is true. That is true.
And by the way, I'm sorry, go ahead.
This would be a short mini series, probably like 6, maybe 8 issues if it gets extended. Yeah. And I'm popular. Just like, if it's popular,
we would give we would give post-crisis Clark a nice send-off. We're not going to do what they did with the New 52 Superman. We are going to be better. He gets the full funeral for a friend treatment.
But it's going to be closed casket because God did Thor F him up. Dear
Oh, yeah. God. It's going to be closed casket, but the point is he's going to get the full treatment. Because we're not vindictive like a lot of DC creatives were back then.
But would we still get Super Luthor from Rebirth, where he pretty much is a stand-in for Steel?
No. He would try to, but then Scion's like, nope, not happening, dude. You haven't earned it.
I know we had our differences, but you can't be everywhere at once with the League expanding. Someone needs to maintain the home front. With my genius and your strength, we can do a lot better for the world.
You're not, Lex, you're not wearing the S. Get over it. This is not a negotiation.
And here I thought the House of El inspired hope, not vanity.
Yeah. By the way, I have a cousin, a son. I have plenty of Kryptonians that can watch the home front. I don't need you.
Now, this Luthor isn't as bad as post-crisis Luthor. They still can't stand each other, but this would have been after Forever Evil, where Luthor did earn some PR and joined the Justice League for a time.
And this would also be when they're trying to make Luthor a good guy. So Luthor's not going to be like the evil Lex Luthor, where he's going to wipe out Superman.
Very well. I won't wear your S. Your doppelganger at least deserves that much. Mm-hmm. But you and I both know we both share a large cabal of enemies, who in turn are very nasty with the right materials. I'll play ball and give you some intel. In exchange, you and I actually partner to make Metropolis better. If I pull anything shady, you're welcome to try something, but only if you can prove it.
Okay, that's a deal. I think that's a good idea. That's a deal. You can earn my respect.
By all means, the feeling's mutual.
And then this would start to be like the formation of a mutual respect between Superman and Clark, which I don't think we've really ever had.
Luthor and Clark. But yeah, not really. They kind of had a bit of a tolerance towards each other in Rebirth, but that's largely because Luthor was a stand-in for Steel. Like, if you really look at that suit, all he was missing was the freaking hammer.
And the full face mask thing.
That is true.
Yeah, and but yeah, essentially that, yeah. I mean, they wouldn't be friends, but they would at least be like, yeah, I at least respect you. And so next we would have like the world is still rebuilding. I think we should have like a one shot that shows like the Justice League reeling from the Thor attack, and like you could have like a scene in the infirmary where we see like them recovering.
Yeah, Wally
Hawkgirl's
having
wings growing back.
Wally having to wear prosthetic legs for a while, with Artemis and the kids watching over him.
Mm-hmm. Barry dealing with not having legs anymore in Cyborg, trying to build like Speed Force legs for him.
What about Hal? Because Hal and Gardner got wrecked pretty bad in this too. I mean, John pretty much had his hand crushed.
Yeah, they're still healing, but they kind of use their rings or other Green Lantern stuff. But yeah, they're recovering too. I would say that this is when Cruz and Baz start to step up. Cruz, Baz, and Raynor step up to basically fill in for the
Hal,
other three that were out of commission. Yeah, that were out of commission, exactly. And by the way, we wouldn't have like Raynor all of a sudden is like disappear, because that was the other character that when the new 52 happened, he vanished.
Yeah, because they really okay, let's be honest. Raynor was literally just there to replace Hal after he turned evil. That's literally the main reason Kyle Rayner existed. He did grow his own fan base, but that's pretty much the original intention behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to prop up Hal and bring him back to life, Green Lantern and all, Kyle Rayner becomes semi-redundant. Mm-hmm. You can make it work. You would just have to put in the effort.
Yeah, and obviously we would put in the effort because we're not DC. I have to keep saying that because, hey, it's true.
It's true. It's true. But
Superman Reborn alone shows that DC was not taking up that much of an effort.
They really weren't. Oh, and here's also a good story. We are not doing Future's End. No.
Nope. No. We're not even going to deal with that. We'll have a Batman Beyond series because why not?
God.
But you could have the Justice League of that time period and the Batman Beyond time period is all the kids. In other words, that's future state.
You mean like the Resistance and Cyberpunk?
Kind of.
Huh. But seriously, so many ideas are just popping in my head right now. But
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So would this version of Hot Girl be Kendra or Shira? Because I remember in Rebirth this was Kendra.
We'll do Shira just for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to, and plus, I think Shira at least is the more popular one.
Oh, definitely. Let's be honest.
Yeah, so we're doing that. That way also we can have the classic Justice League. They're all sort of redundant. Earth has like 4 Green Lanterns. I think they explained that where Earth is like the center of the multiverse, so that's why they have so many Green Lanterns protecting it.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But and like at least half of them are on Oa, circling around Oa at least a couple months out of the year. So
yeah, so it's not like all of them are there. And by the way, Far Sector would be probably not in this because her origin directly conflicts with Green Lantern lore, and Teen Lantern would not happen. You can't hack a Green Lantern ring.
I mean, technically it wasn't a ring, it was a power pack she just stumbled onto.
You can't hack into Green Lantern technology. It doesn't work.
Okay. But so I know we're setting up Rebirth. Okay, the League's still recovering. Would Black Adam join the League?
That's a good question. I would say yeah, because there was some good like character development when he was on the League to like show that he's trying to be more of a hero instead of a villain. I think it could work really well having him on the Justice League. Naomi would not be in the League because Bendis would never have come to DC.
Wait, I'm pretty sure she debuted before, because again, these writers do commission work for these companies, but before they can do any extensive work, they have to be contracted.
I'm pretty sure that she was done, that she was created when Bendis actually came to DC.
Okay, I would have to look it up. But Naomi's still a tribute character to McDuffie, so I wouldn't put her on the League. I would put her like on Young Justice or
Teen
Titans.
Titans or Young Justice. There's no reason why she should have been on the. Actually, there is a reason why she was on the Justice League, because Bendis was writing the Justice League. And the only reason why I bought 3 of the first issues because they were Snyder Cut covers.
Wait, you bought 2? Okay.
Right up there.
Nice.
But yeah, so she would be on the Teen Titans slash Titans. At least that's it.
Okay.
As opposed to, like, we wouldn't bring the Wonder Twins back because there's no reason to.
What? They're a callback from the Super Friends.
Yeah, there's no reason to.
Okay.
And obviously we're not changing Tim Drake to just Drake. We're giving him like Redbird or whatever, like a cool nickname that he deserves.
Technically, Drake is a type of waterfowl, so
yeah, but it's also his name. That's where it's stupid.
That is true.
And he's not getting a poop brown suit.
God, that suit was awful.
Like again, that was my first clue that maybe Bendis wasn't a good fit for DC. When that happened, even before I read Superman, I was like, oh, okay. But to be clear, I didn't read his entire run. I watched summaries of his storylines, didn't like it. Then I read his short in Action Comics 1000 when people are commenting about Superman bringing back the red shorts, and I'm like, who cares?
I had nothing against it because I mean I'm good either way. It really doesn't matter to me.
Well, I'm just saying I'm fine with him. My issue was not necessarily the red trunks; it's the people commenting on it.
Okay.
That was it. I was like, no, stop it, dude.
What would happen to Billy in all this? Because if Shazam's joining the League, Billy's kind of like off to the wayside. Is he just enjoying being a kid? Does he get sent to the Titans?
Isn't Billy Shazam?
Yeah.
If Shazam is joining the Justice League, because at this point Shazam was on the Justice League, yeah, just keep him on the Justice League.
Oh yeah, because we did establish Unlimited. I think Billy and Black and Tef Adam would kind of like butt heads. Like, you're actually gonna trust this guy?
Yeah, they would. And by the way, Master Sergeant, no, the Superman suit does not have red trunks in the New Direction verse. It's basically the new 52 suit where it has a red belt instead.
I would have pre-Flashpoint Clark keep the red trunks out of nostalgia. But
no,
that's the only
he would. But I'm just saying, Scion / now Superman. No, he still keeps the new 52 suit.
Okay. Aquaman loses it. We get the hook hand back for Aquaman.
He grows the beard and long hair, gets some tattoos. He basically turns into Jason Momoa with a hook hand. And also, we get a good Aquaman run because DeConnick is not writing Aquaman.
God, Bendis' point is going to be a blast.
No, I told you, when you look at how much stuff was influenced by him coming to DC, it's astounding. It is literally like Flashpoint, where one thing changes so much.
I feel like the most person to get growth out of this is John, because he's practically an orphan other than Ma and Pa.
Oh, yeah, and John does not get aged up, obviously, because Bendis has not come to DC.
Tevia's sure going to like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets a lot of character growth because now he has to live. Well, he's not an orphan because post Flashpoint, pre Flashpoint, Lois is still alive. She's helping with the Justice League.
Okay.
And he would be on the Teen Titans
when he turned 13, because I think even when in Rebirth he was like 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm. When he turns to 13, he would join the Teen Titans. You know, and Tevia should be entering the chat any minute now because you mentioned John Kent.
Yes, I did. Any minute now. But would Bruce stop being Batman, or at least he would pass down the cowl?
I think that what we decided is that since Bruce would kill the Joker, he would take some time off from being Batman and maybe pass on the mantle to Nightwing, or just have Nightwing be Nightwing on the Justice League. Obviously, Bruce is going to come back to being Batman, but what we're doing is like he takes a second to heal and everything that happened, heal from the trauma of killing the Joker, because it's still traumatic for Bruce to have taken a life, and then eventually he comes back.
Okay.
I mean, that's at least how I thought it through.
Donna Troy becomes an ambassador for Themyscira, similar to Young Justice.
She takes the ambassador role that Diana traditionally took in the Justice League as the ambassador.
Would Cassie Sandsmark still be part of Young Justice, or would she be doing her own thing?
Just keep her in Young Justice. I think she's good there. Plus, that way we could have Damian, John, and Cassie on Young Justice, so Trinity there.
Wouldn't it be a little weird though, because a lesser writer would, because if you've seen Deceased,
yeah, but she's not Wonder Woman in this story. That's the only Wonder Bat I will accept.
God damn it.
Because it makes sense in that storyline.
Okay. All right, I'm not gonna heckle you anymore about that, Jared. But
thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah, and I don't think Trinity would join the. Why am I calling her Trinity? I don't think Hippolyta. But Hippolyta is the name of the daughter of Superman and Wonder Woman as a tribute to Diane's mother. I don't think Hippolyta would join the Titans yet. I think she would take time to like find herself as a hero before she starts joining teams.
That's fair. Let her do her own thing.
Yeah, exactly. And there would be a book called Hippolyta, Daughter of Wonder Woman. Teladia, you SOB. Oh, jeez.
The audience has spoken. Give me just a second.
Oh no, I know what you're pulling up. But anyway, yeah, she would essentially go, okay, so I'm gonna like.
Sorry about that. Continue.
You could have her go on like her own adventure, like trying to be like her own thing. So in other words, it would be no, we're not doing Wonder. Highlight Master Sergeant's comment. It's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Master Sergeant, why?
That's the best Wonderboard comment I've ever read. Oh, Jesus. That's awesome. That's the best Wonderboard comment I think I've ever read on this show. Jeez.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. So anyway, so the book could be called Hippolyta, Daughter of Wonder Woman. It's about her, or the first arc is her dealing with the pressures of being Superman and Wonder Woman's daughter, and then her trying to decide what kind of hero is she going to be.
I could see that. And I know it's going to happen. I really know it's going to happen, but I'm dreading it. I really am dreading it. At least in the Super Sons book, they're going to have Hippolyta at least have a childhood crush on Damien. I'm like, please stop.
No.
I don't want to see.
No.
I don't want to see any fan art of it.
Veto.
Because I know not to underestimate shippers. I've learned that lesson the hard way.
Shippers are shipping John and Damian in the Super Sons.
Oh God!
But no, that ain't happening. Any writer that tries to do that, guess what? Red line right through that. Any lines of that in dialogue. I'm like, no.
I mean, you could have it to where Damian sees her like a little sister, and it would never happen.
No. Neither side. Neither side.
Okay, no insinuation at all. Okay, that's the safer option.
They see themselves as siblings. That's it. People can be friends and virtual siblings without being romantically attracted to each other, shippers. That's the way life works. But anyway... And then we would probably have a like young Trinity book, which is John, Hippolyta, and Damian.
Yeah, you know,
and that's for you, Tevye.
That's what you said, yeah. But okay. So who would write? Because I know we established we're gonna have Justice League Unlimited.
Charles
Da-na-na.
Sewell. Charles Sewell would write Superman and Wonder Woman.
Okay. We can bring that back.
No, because his series, I do. We need that back because that would also be the series where Clark is dealing with the trauma of like losing Superman and all that stuff, and Diana's there for him. And it has to be Charles Sewell because when he was on the series, that's when it hit 100,000 issues.
I'll give you that.
The dude brings sales, so and he respects it. Tomasi would not go anywhere near it. He could write the young Trinity. How's that? He can write the young Trinity because he demonstrated he can write young characters well. I'll give him that.
Okay.
And yes, he could also write the Super Sons book. He's totally fine with that. Wonder Woman, I would give to probably Meredith and David Finch or Brian Azzarello because I liked whatever they were doing.
Okay.
Let me see. In terms of Aquaman, who would I actually know it? Just keep either Jeff Johns or Dan Abnett on it because they were killing it.
Would Cyborg get a solo book, or would he be strictly on Titans?
His book would be him being the administrator of the Titans and being like the liaison because we would see like the process because his book would establish the like pipeline to join the Justice League.
Okay.
Yeah, and he would be a big world building book. Green Lantern, I would probably have Jeff Johns on that book because why not? You need that. And now let me ask you this, Jay Heat. Who would you have on Superman?
Ooh. I would say Patrick Gleason because his Rebirth run.
That's art.
Oh, wait, I thought he wrote it as well.
I think that it was Tomasi and Gleason who wrote it.
Oh, okay. Tomasi and Gleason.
Is it too much to ask? Not Tomasi?
Okay, not Tomasi. All right.
I'm salty. I'm sorry. I'm still salty about that.
Okay, if I couldn't get Tomasi on Superman, who else could I get? Not Greg
Joshua
Rucka.
Williamson, dude.
I could see it. Especially what he's doing now with Dawn of DC.
Yeah, because he's killing it. And I very much enjoy his Superman series. It's one of the reasons why it's on my pull list. And I would another option would be Grant Morrison because he wrote the new 52 Superman, at least origin part. He wrote a new 52 action, so I think he could do really well.
I would put Grant Morrison on Batman.
Actually, that's a better idea. That's a way better idea.
Because now you got Selena, you got Helena Wayne. The Bat family's kind of fractured a little bit, or at least growing into their own.
Mm-hmm. In terms of Flash, I would keep Jeremy Adams on Flash. He loves the character. He brings the sales. He's staying on there. Who would you have on the Teen Titans?
Okay, an adolescent Damian, an adolescent John, Amiko Queen, Red Arrow, Wallace West, Kid Flat. Well, I think Wallace would have rebranded by now because he's technically 17 in Rebirth. So he'd probably... So in our New Direction verse, he'd be 18 plus. Mm-hmm. Wallace would... Okay, Wallace is kind of doing his own thing. Wallace is kind of like transitioning into a new persona. So I wouldn't use... Or at the very least, he's on Titans. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to put Wallace on Teen Titans. Jay and Irie to replace Wallace on Teen Titans. Mm-hmm. Jay and Irie. Who else? Crush, Lobo's daughter, because I had nothing really against her. Mm-hmm. I actually liked her character. Billy Roundhouse, I would have made him a villain. I would sure you could still have him play the terror role, all that, because his character is pure victim mentality. Like, come on. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so would we still set up Dark Knight's Metal and Death Metal?
Metal, yes. Death Metal, no. I say no to Death Metal because that turned off a lot of DC. And yes, Master Sergeant, they did give Lobo a daughter. Oh, and by the way, I saw Fast and the Furious X last night, and it affirmed to me that that Jason Momoa could play a great Lobo. But anyway, what was I saying before about DC?
Dark Knight's Metal.
Yeah, I wouldn't do, because here's the thing about death metal, it turned off a lot of fans. It really did. Metal brought on a lot of people and was very popular, but metal turned off a lot of people because of all the tie-ins and stuff. I just would not go with that, because remember, we wouldn't even go for the reboot route for that, I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like with the success of the New Direction verse and the transition to Rebirth itself, we'd be a long ways away from anything with 5G. I think Didio would be satisfied with our work just enough not to pull that.
And we would be in charge of DC anyway, so if he proposed 5G, we could say no.
No, have you lost your freaking mind?
Yeah, that's where that would be the phrase coming out of our office. It would be like, "Are you kidding me?"
All New, All Different is a synergy campaign because of the movies. That would not work in comics.
And Tadio, one thing that you're missing a very key detail about when Marvel did All New, All Different. It failed
miserably.
They had to reset. They had to go back to everything later.
Crashed and burned within the span of 3 years.
Yeah, so we're not replacing characters. Sorry, dude. But that would be hilarious. That would be like a scene in the movie when like everyone's like going about their business in the DC office. All of a sudden, you hear us out of our office with Didio going, "Are you out of your mind?" That would be so good.
And by the way, Lobo's daughter debuted in the Adam Glass run of Teen Titans Rebirth, issue 21.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dark and the Dark Multiverse actually brought out new characters like Sideways, a new version of Damage, Silencer. Actually, give these characters a shot, because I feel like they didn't really. They just wrote off the Marvel template and called it a day.
Oh yeah, we would definitely give these characters more of a shot, because there was tons of potential. I have the 2 trades of the Damage series, and it is awesome. First time you see Damage, he fights and virtually defeats Wonder Woman.
Pretty much.
And I'm like, that's the best way to establish how powerful this character is. And yeah, 100%. They need more of a chance, because they had some fantastic characters in there, and particularly like Sideways too. I really enjoyed Sideways.
Master Fugonaut, Sideways' ability to transport into multiple dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
But will we still have Red Canary as Black Canary's sidekick? Will we still have that?
What? Who?
Because remember, Dark Crisis, Red Canary debuted, and she's kind of like a thing. Okay.
We're not having derivative characters. Sorry. Because I just think that's like giving these sloppy seconds to another character. It just doesn't work.
Okay.
If you want to have, because I think honestly that's just an excuse to give Black Canary a sidekick.
Pretty much.
That's really what it is. And at that point, I think they went a little crazy with the families thing. It's all about family.
Yeah, they really played that up.
Yeah, so I'm just like, and not everyone needs a family, so dislike derivative characters. Yes, exactly. And there's going to be no replacing of mantles in RDC, because that is like the weak, unless we're doing a storyline, unless we're ending the universe and rebooting completely, we're not going to replace it. John's not going to take over for Superman.
The only time we're doing mantle swaps is Superman with Scion and Batman, depending how long he's with the agency after killing the Joker.
Well, even with the Scion thing, that's because we swapped the mantle because post-crisis died.
Yeah,
so
now
like he's still around.
No, he's yeah, that's a literal mantle. That's a dawn of legacy, if anything. That's no different than Wally taking over at post-crisis.
Yeah, that's what it is. The way DC has been doing it is like, no, Superman's alive. He's just going over to Warworld, and when he comes back, he's still John's still gonna be Superman. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, it's not. It ain't happening. I'm sorry.
In the context of Future State, it works because Clark never actively comes back, or at least there's no record of him coming back. So at least in the context of Future State, it works.
Mm-hmm.
And in Future State, John was set up to become a tyrant.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we could go with that storyline too as like a future story.
Too easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would stay away from any evil super characters like storylines. I think that's been overdone at this point.
Played to death, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm just like, no, we're not going to do that.
But will we have another dark side encounter anytime soon? He has been laying low for a long time.
I think because wasn't it like when they brought back when the last time they met, they had like an agreement that Darkseid would not like go against Earth.
Remember, they rejected that deal.
Oh yeah, I think Darkseid would be biding his time and waiting for the right moment to strike. Because I could see him being the last threat. In other words, the reboot event is against Darkseid.
Okay, so we're essentially going to pull an Apocalypse War.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. What other villains can we use? Mongrel.
Starro.
Starro is very underrated, not going to lie.
We have to recreate the cover, the first Justice League cover with Starro.
Yeah.
Like that has to happen.
Joker returns with Jim. Oh, Jared, you want to tell them about what we talked about with Jimmy Olsen yesterday?
Oh yeah. So what we would do with Jimmy Olsen is that so remember in Batman Beyond, the Joker Returns, that movie, when the Joker turned Tim Drake into a Joker like kid. That's what happens to Jimmy Olsen in our universe. There you go.
And then the look on Superman's face, not only seeing his best friend forever scarred forever into that madman, but reliving the near destruction of Metropolis almost 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, his priority was saving Lois. They never knew what happened to Jimmy after Lois was abducted. Jimmy never talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they find out literally the worst way possible as Jimmy finally succumbs to the madness and Joker takes over.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Joker's back in town.
Yep, there you go. That's how you get to Return of the Joker's Jimmy Olsen. That would piss off a lot of people, but hey, it'd be cool.
As much as I want to play with you, Soups, I got a little father-daughter dance to attend to.
But would Jimmy Joker have the memories of a regular Joker to know that he has a daughter with Harley Quinn? I don't think so.
New Batman Beyond, Neo Joker did in Batman Beyond because of the microchip.
Oh, really? Okay. I know that. Okay, in that case, we could do that.
And then all of a sudden, then you hear the news about what Sarah? What's Harley Quinn's daughter's name? It was Sarah Abigail.
I forget.
I would have to look it up. But essentially, it's just Joker leads a crew. A massive crime spree breaks out. One kid was notably abducted, and of course, that's Harley's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And then Harley and Poison Ivy team up. Like, I'm not going to hurt her, Harley. I just want to talk to her. You and I both know I could have done a lot worse by now. Get away from her, you sick freak. Ivy. You never told her, did you? About when you had that bounty on my head. What's he talking about, Red?
That's a really good Harley Quinn, jeez.
Poor Harley. Ivy believed you would never have the will to leave me. Now, I've been relatively indifferent towards you over the years. I won't refute that. But Ivy's never been afraid to get her hands dirty for the good of the green. You shut your mouth. How do you think I got the nuke, Ivy? I paid your little contractor a little visit, and he squirmed in an attempt to save his own skin.
I love that. By the way, your Joker and your Harley, fantastic, dude.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, we need to do voice acting where we get a bunch of our friends together and just read through a comic. That would be so good. We could do Injustice, or what we need to do is pick a single issue of a comic book to test it out and see how it works. And then we can graduate up.
Yeah, of course.
But what we're thinking of doing is doing probably the first issue of Hush. Just trying that out.
Yep.
So we can do that. But yeah, that's awesome. And then can you imagine Batman, Batman fighting the Joker again?
And I'm like, Bruce, don't kill him. Jimmy's still in there. I don't think there's anything left to save, Clark. He's literally on a dead man switch with his own daughter right in the crossfire. I can't leave anything to chance. If you kill Joker, you'll take Jimmy with him. I don't think I have any other choice, Clark. But I'll do what I can. Let the girl go, Joker. This is between you and me. Oh, Batsy, I've missed you these past 10 years. These microchips are a real pain in the neck.
I love that. Nice.
But why would I kill
Zan
my
and
own
Jaina now? That's Master Sergeant. Do Zan and Jaina now.
Zan and Jaina. I'll think about it, Master Sergeant. I'll think about it.
But so let's see. What else? Yeah, I like this.
Wonder powers activate.
Form of a bucket of water. Shape of an ice gondola. What the hell?
Oh, the Silver Age was so goddamn
Hey,
wacky.
Snyder Queen. What's up, Sammy?
What's up, Sammy? Oh, man. She is away from you. Oh, please, Betsy, if you had the stones for that kind of fun, you would have done it years ago. Oh, wait. You did. Well, let's hope that wasn't... I'm not going to go into that because then I'll be reaching Black Label territory.
Yeah, so basically there is a battle. Now, what I say is I think what they could do, remember in I think it's like Justice League, Justice League post metal when they put like the Batman Who Laughs in the Hall of Justice in that little containment thing.
Yeah,
they could do that until they find a cure for Jimmy.
And the way they beat him is where Harley's daughter shoots Jimmy with the gag gun. It's not fatal. It's not fatal, but it is able to demobilize him.
Yeah, it's at least that. It's like in the shoulder or the leg or anything like that. Some way that they can immobilize them.
That's my girl.
And there you go. But yeah, so, and I don't know about you, but I think that's an excellent cliffhanger.
Definitely. Will Harley leave Ivy? Will Harley get her daughter help? Will her daughter turn into the next Joker? Find out next time on New Direction Rebirth.
Yes, we are destroying all of DC right now in a good way.
Wait, would Catwoman get a book if she's married to Bruce now? Would Catwoman still get a book?
Catwoman? Yeah, I'd say so. That'd be fun, seeing her trying to turn over a new leaf.
Okay. Because I remember that Joker book they tried to pull where it ended up just being a Jim Gordon comic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that too.
But Jared, what do you have coming up on the channel?
All right, so tomorrow I have a discussion coming out on Blackest Night, just on the comic, how cool it is. The discussion. I want to do it on CLD, but we didn't get a chance to. So I got that. I have a discussion with Nick coming up on Indie Wednesday. I have. Let's see, what else do I have right now? Oh yeah, at some point, Jay Heat and I are going to do a discussion on the Ed Brubaker Captain America run to go through that, because it's one of my favorite runs of comics of all time. And I have a new fan edit coming out that I'm starting to work on, which is going to be a compilation of all of the times that Snyder vs. Superman saved someone, because there is a really stupid argument, anti-Snyder argument, where they say that Superman never saved anyone in the Snyderverse. So I'm going to make it's just a compilation clip of some epic music of that happening. It's more times than you think. There's literally a compilation in BVS of that happening. And yes, I also have first off, I also have a video with Taladia, a live stream with Taladia, I think Tuesday night, where we watched Superman and Lois, which is awesome, by the way. I have on Tuesday live at, I believe, 1 p.m. Nick and I still have to establish the time period where we discuss the finale of season 1 of Justice League before we go over to season 2. And I'm about halfway done with the script for volume 1 of Athena, a Goddess of Thunder.
Nice.
And yes, Snyder Queen, he literally saves the world 3 times, but I'm talking about even in the individual movie, he's saving people. So I'm making a compilation of that.
And as for me, I will have some. I actually got to do the July-August solicitations. That is coming up. I might just go ahead and do August because too much time has passed. I hadn't decided yet. Also, Swole Tour playthroughs are coming up. Some other projects come out in the future, so please pay attention to the community tab for more information. And this was a great conversation, Jared. I mean, new direction back to back.
This is fun. It's where I'm really enjoying this.
But thank you.
And if you guys have any ideas on characters or books you want us to address, drop in the comments.
By all means, we'll be glad to talk about it. And like, comment, and subscribe. Please hit that bell so you don't miss a video. And flame off.